Hello and welcome into the Sorare Spotlight. I'm Andrew Laird. You can find me as Lairdino on Sorare. Joined today by a very special guest who I'm very, very, very excited to have on because I'm just a nerd for this type of stuff. Philip from Sorare. He is Senior Creative Lead and is here to talk about the design of the 2025-26 cards, the Ballon cards, showing us some behind-the-scenes stuff that I geeked out to about a couple minutes ago. And so, Philip, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me. It's a real pleasure. I'm more like a behind the scene guy, so I mix between like excitement and scariness to be on this podcast. All good, it reminds me a lot when we joined. Like we were all the team was in Discord, having the feedbacks and really connected with the community. So it's good to be back.
No, it's great to hear kind of directly from people at Sorare because I feel like we have a lot of, as you know, the community has lots of opinions, and so it's nice to hear just directly from everyone at HQ, just of what kind of what goes into certain decisions and what, particularly with card design. Card design is one of those things that I've always been very, very excited about, and I have zero design background, and I can barely draw a smiley face on someone, but the just where you guys went, I know like a couple years ago, I think it was when either the MLB or the NBA cards came out, there was this big video, and a lot of it was just meant to say like, this is why we designed like what we did. And I always love those because it makes you kind of literally appreciate some of the little details in the cards that you guys know is there, and maybe the community doesn't always know or understand why certain things are there. So I'm very excited about this. Before we jump into the current cards and everything, if you could just tell us a little bit about yourself and kind of how you ended up at Sorare and what you do.
Yeah, perfect. So I'm Philip, as I told, and I work in the design team. So in the design team, it's divided into two departments, I say. The product design, which is more led by Tulga, and I'm leading the creative team. Before Sorare, I was more into designing visual identities. I come from really like the graphic design background, and I've done that for 7 years, and then I started like I'll say like little company, but we were doing like motion graphics and things like that. So for 2 years, and we got bored, and we wanted to do something else, and at that time, I think it was the end of COVID in France, and I really wanted to start like a new adventure. I know what I didn't want is to hop from project to project. That's what I've been doing for 10 years. Sora was like a alien project for me. I saw like blockchain, football, gaming, keywords. In 2020 was quite surprising. So, and then I've talked to Nico and the team. They were really, really great, super passionate. But that's what I really love. That was a real connection, like what the mission they had to do. So from there, I'm looking. I've started like to being. I was the first creative at Sorare, I say. And then we had as you know, the super growth of Sorare, and then the team grew really fastly. And now I'm leading a team of 5 designers in Sorare. So my role is to give like the creative direction, help my the colleagues to achieve every day what they need to do, and be aligned on what we see on the product and the marketing, and to always be innovative and to be at the front. And that's why I remember like Sorare was really really like avant-garde what they were doing, and that's something I really liked, and I believe we are still there. So that's a real like day-to-day challenge for us to be always like innovative and like test new things. So yeah.
I should give Tolga full credit for planting the seed of the idea of having you come on, because he messaged me one day and he was like, you really should talk to Phil, because he, he does all the card designs. And I think Tolga knows I'm kind of a nerd for stuff like that. And so I will give him credit for the idea of having you on, whether he was just throwing you under the bus.
Yeah.
Or,
No. Like today was, we were talking the last week. It really happened super fast. So. And he was telling like, yeah, we should go there, and I wasn't sure, but I felt like it's a good moment, to I think the community also deserves, this kind of format. So really happy to share, our process and things that we went through for the Sorare 26. I mean, I'm speaking French too.
Yeah, no worries. Like when you guys start have you started your process for the 2026, 27 cards even?
Not yet, but that's a very good question, because most of the time we start the process so before the end of the year of the football season. So I'll say 4 to 5 months before. So generally it starts. We start to design by March or April. So now we are more focusing on the NBA launch, and we have other stuff to do, but we have some special like cool editions to come for football. So yeah, we are more like focusing on the actual season, like serving the initiative of marketing and product. And from March to the next March to April, we'll start designing the new cards.
Love it.
Yeah.
My apologies, I haven't welcomed everyone in. So welcome to everybody coming in. Dobsy, Sorasol, and Shezi on the podium. Congrats to you guys. Welcome. Bart, what's up? J Vic, Johnny. Any chance on national jersey design cards? We did have national team jerseys before, or cards before.
I think we done that before, like 2 years ago, I think. And we did like super cool cards for that. I'm not sure that's something. I mean, that would be amazing, we are really like open to that. But if there's like a business like opportunity,
Because I always a license issue.
Yeah, it's more like a license thing, but we are more to be happy, to create like new stuff for the national jersey.
How many football card designs have you gone through while it's Sorare? Like, do you remember when you?
Oh yeah. So the first card I've designed at Sorare, it's a special edition for to a 2021 card. It's something you were winning for like a special competition for the weekend. That's the first one, and then quickly. So I arrived on January, and quickly on February, March, I was doing the 21-22 cards, the whole like the classic cards, and it's my very first experience for me as a designer to make the cards live and have like immediate feedback on what you have done. Was really like that was really like refreshing, because as I was telling, like coming from like agency background, you don't have like quick feedback like that, but it was super refreshing, to have like this kind of like quality feedbacks from the user. I mean, being on Discord, you are really living that real day. So the 21-22 cards, something which it's a special one for me. I have it in my mind because of all that experience, and also that's, I think, the first season we have done the rookie cards.
So these cards, right? The honeycomb ones.
Oh yeah, exactly.
So I don't know if they're still my favorite, but like these, I remember when these came out, and I loved them, and I still love them. And I was saying one of the things that I enjoy so much about them is that the depth of the card changes based on the scarcity.
Yeah, exactly.
And I was just like,
That's
it's
the whole
stuff
point.
like that that I feel like people don't necessarily notice or appreciate. And I just like, I love it. I love these cards. And so clearly you came in and just started off fantastically.
Oh, that's cool. I mean, it's always a teamwork there. But the first thing I saw is seeing on Discord. I don't know if you remember users printing these cards as
Hmm.
magnets. So immediately I felt that they wanted to capture the card in their hand being more tangible. So that was my really like the starting point of having this depth and be more tangible with the design,
Hmm.
where before it was a bit flat, but the layout was there. I mean, the layout was good, but maybe we could push further, all
Hmm.
the tests and being more uh, giving the shadows, the lights, was really like a interesting thing. And we have at the time, like, Dan was helping me to write an art, the article on the. I think you can find it. I think it's still there. But so we had a picture of player like putting magnets on the fridge, and also like printing it on a cake.
Yep. I remember
so,
that.
so yeah, I mean, it was fun one. Like, we were just justifying, the all this concept of being tangible really came from the community.
Wow, that's incredible. One of the things, there was a question in the chat if we're going to see some rejected designs. The answer is yes.
Yes,
Yes, we
yes,
are. Just
yes, sir.
we'll get there. I have so many questions, so we'll get there. But I promise we'll get there. So one of the big things that kind of changed, I think, where So Rare was in terms of the card space was when you guys went with the 3D cards.
Yeah,
And like you were saying, when you joined Sorare, you didn't really have much experience with blockchain and did you and
no,
NFTs, but it
no,
felt like the 3D cards kind of took the NFT ness of these cards kind of to another level.
yeah,
Can you speak a little bit about like what you guys
yeah,
even discussed when you decided to do the 3D cards?
yeah. It's really for, so each season, each season we really try to push things. So I was saying, like, being innovative. And I think it's really part of a process, really like a long process. So now, if I look back, the cards we had before, like the early ones, the first one were super flat, and it's really like a story, so we had like from super flat. 2022 has like more depth, uh, and then immediately we want to push things, and quite naturally, like having the 3D, having a card back, which was already there. I think the like early users know that, like, the card back wasn't a new thing. It was initially present on
Mhm.
the like very very early designs. So we introduced the card back, the card back. So once you have the card back, uh, so what happens? Like, we need to give the users, the possibility to navigate around the card. So naturally, like, we wanted to make them 3D, and then you have all this the NFT look and feel which existed, with the lights, with a dramatic one. So yeah, we wanted to fit, also that mood. I think the cars also deserve to be, at that kind of place. And we were seeing like big brands like Louis Vuitton and other like consumer brands, doing that, and we needed to be at that level. At the
Mhm.
So yeah, quite naturally we ended up like doing the 3D cards, uh, and yeah, I feel like it's like a natural process from being flat to 3D. It wasn't like this. It has been like step by step. So yeah. So to reply you guys, I'll say that each season we really try to push forward, the concept we had. Yeah, exactly, as you have, like, Vanaken is a really good example. So Yeah, so this was the first one,
Hmm.
actually, where we really tried to make the cars 3D, uh, and for the little story, like I know, like we had like feedbacks of the death of the car, which was a bit, larger, because we had the possibility, we gave the possibility for these cars to be on the virtual reality.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. So what happened is, once we did that with thinner cards, it didn't render well, because when you go and look, it looked like paper. So we just give some depth to give some more, like presence to the cards,
Hmm.
and then I think, no, we didn't keep that feature, so the feature went out, but the card stayed.
Yeah.
But yeah, we rectified, like that, on the new season, like the cards are more thinner.
uh, I think I remember when these came out and we had the 3D, and I don't think we like, I think we knew they were going to be 3D before they came out, but we didn't know really what that meant. And I just remember when we first saw it, and even like with the lighting change as you move it,
Yeah,
there's just like, it's an attention to detail that I don't think people would have thought was not necessary, but you saw it and you were just like, oh wow, they really have been thinking about how this card is going to look.
yeah.
Um, this is this. I apologize because this is kind of an absurd question. Do you guys like? Do you think of? I don't even know how to ask this. What do you think the card is made of? Like you were saying, you wanted it a little thicker because you didn't want it to look like paper, and
uh,
these 3D cards don't necessarily look like paper at all. They're
yeah,
shiny and they have a bigger thickness. But yeah,
yeah.
like from a design perspective, do you think it looks like it's made out of a certain material?
Yeah, yeah. That's a super, like, good question. Like,
I realize it's a little
great
crazy.
question. Yeah,
This is what I think about.
it's the first time, like, I have this question. Really, really interesting. I think they could be like reflective metal, the 2122, the 2223.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, because of the reflectiveness, and how the edges are, affecting. I'll say, like, metal. Yeah, globally. Uh, yeah, I don't
Yeah,
know what.
I only ask because I felt like the new ones, and
Uh,
not necessarily. I feel like these are a bit the same. It feels like some sort of reflective metal, but
yeah,
I felt like I think my response when these were first revealed was that they look like they have like a glass, like they're glass. And I was like, I would be nervous about holding one. It's like when you hold a brand new iPhone and you're just like, I can't drop this, even though Apple will tell you that it's okay. But it felt like,
yeah,
and not that it was more delicate, but yeah, it felt like it was glass, which
yeah,
compared to like a reflective metal feels not as secure.
yeah. I mean, you're right. I mean, the for this one, we went more on refractions and being reflective. And if you see, by the way, the card back, it's fully transparent. And yeah, if this card existed, like, you wouldn't, like, want to put that down,
Right.
because it could eventually broke. So yeah, I yeah, I mean, that's a good feedback. I like you being, like, trying to represent that physically in your mind. That's exactly what we want to to do, like, when we design, like, to break the screen barrier, so we can really be emotional, and because it's really belongs to you. And so we it's good that you have this kind of feedback. I mean, for me, it's music to my ears.
Yeah. No, I'm happy to provide this kind of feedback all the time. And what you said before,
Yeah,
like the new ones are clearly not. They don't appear as thick as
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah,
previous ones.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's something, that's a design choice that we made. from our team to make that more elegant, I'll say.
I'm trying to find one of the. Here we go. Can you speak a little bit about the design for the SD chip and kind of? I'm actually mostly curious. Does the
Yeah,
concept of the SD chip, which obviously last year we had kind of the wrapped cards, does that
yeah,
come from your group and you guys go with that, or is there kind of
yeah,
feedback from the rest of the design team, or how does that work?
yeah. That's I think it's a very good question, and the whole the Sora 2026 art direction, it started with the thinking of the early access card. So maybe Andrew, I can share
Yeah.
the, yeah, if you don't mind.
There we go.
Oh yeah, perfect. Yeah. Oh, I I prepared a slide to present my team.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, you can like 2 minutes. Like, so this is the team, the creative team. My colleagues. So Louis, Renaud. So who's working on product, like Theo too, very close to the product. Alfonso is more like film lead on marketing.
I'm sorry for cutting you off though, because I just have to thank I've met Alfonso once
You
or
met Alfonso?
twice,
Okay.
and he took a picture. Like there was a picture that I share often of me, Nicola, and Julio Rodriguez from a Yankee game, and
Okay.
Alfonso took that picture. And so,
Oh
thank
wow.
you very much for that picture.
I'll tell him, yeah, after the call. And yeah, Nabil, who's doing all the marketing creative. Santiago, he's really focused on growth. So yeah, and we are still hiring, so you can still go, like, if you want to shoot any portfolios. We are always, happy to receive some. Uh, th- so yeah, it's an interesting question. So I just wanted to, so before tackling the cards, you want to give, like, you want the big picture, what's the story that we want to tell the users. So and even like for us in our team, so what's the story behind this 26? So before going into the early access cards, we really try to figure out what's the story we want to use. Uh, and the early access cards really was the starting point, because we gathered many feedbacks from the last year's design, and one of that was really interesting for us, that with the common game we couldn't do packs anymore. So what could be, like, what different thing that we can produce. So we are thinking of something like an access, like, card, like a proper access card that you can see on any, like, sci-fi games like this, or this.
Mm-hmm.
uh, and it was really like a desire to push even more the design. So so that process really started, and quickly, like, we were thinking of, okay, this could be like the whole narrative, the spore, and being like putting keywords behind what we wanted to push, like gamify more the game, uh, putting the IPs more into the front, and assuming that we are a tech company. I, I feel like uh, it's the first time, like, that the narrative that we are telling is really part of the Sorare history. We are not inventing a narrative. We are not telling a story which doesn't belong. The sport tech narrative is really Sorare. Like, it's literally, it's what they have been doing for years now. So
Yeah.
uh, so yeah, so the working on the early access really cleared our mind on that, and now we wanted to make the whole the whole story, and to uh, expand this whole Sportec look and feel to the early access, to the cards, to the product look and feel, and to the marketing. So everything is aligned, and you have like a cohesive experience that you can get. So So the early access cards, I'll say, really triggered all that narrative.
Yeah.
And the first thing that we thought about, like, let's update the logo, uh, and we wanted to be more like game thing. So the gaming industry really does that, like putting the year of the season year attached
Sure.
to the. So that's the first thing that we really changed. So every year is going to be like different, like have the 2K26 or how football does. Uh, because it can be refreshed every year. We are positioning ourselves as a game in the industry, um, with his specificities. We are not a game totally, and but yeah, we are taking like the code, and we want to give the user that look and feel. It was catchy and memorizable, and in product we had like less variations, because before we need to deal every, like, from January to the MLS is starting, and
Hmm.
the,
Yeah.
the so it was really like not easy for us to like even in the filter in the product, when you search, it was quite a mess. So we really try to simplify everything. I think it's also a keyword that I could have put here, like simplify all the process. So once we have that, so
Sorry.
well,
Before you move on, I just had a quick question. So I
yeah,
noticed that the 26 in the Sorare 26 logo kind of reminds me of the SD chip for the early access card. Will
but
that change every season, or do you think that design will just be a 27 next year, or do you change that a little bit to reflect
uh,
the game?
I think we have a solid narrative. We have a solid like the brand book. We are the guidelines that we are working on. Uh, that's solid, that it could just involve, for, I'll say, to 2 to 3 years, because the we it's such a big like the narrative is huge, like sport tech. You
Sure.
can do anything you want, and it's really fits to like Sorare, Sorare, like the core, what it represents. And I feel like it can be, the shape can evolve, but I think the narrative can be there for
Yeah.
some, because it really makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, why not, like, maybe next year we'll get tired of of this shape, and we'll change that.
Sure.
So yeah, so once we like have that, we we expand this to all the round books. So what's the tagline, what's the textures, and what's the dedicated textures for each league, and what's the product assets, like what's the stadium which is attached to each competition, things like that. So as you can see, like we went like super glitch extra, but because that was the narrative that we really wanted to expose, and we really wanted to highlight here. And it was super easy from there. Like, we had the narrative, we knew what was the frontier of the branding that we wanted to tackle, and everyone from the team had the story in their mind. So it really helped us to be aligned, and work on the same goal. Uh, so yeah, so
Where
we
did,
yeah.
sorry to cut you off there. Where does that kind of storyline come from? Like, yeah, like, does that come from higher up and they say, hey, this is the story for this season? Or do you guys talk about that in your own group? And then does that
So
go to the product
I
team
think we
and
have,
whatnot?
yeah, for this one, this was something from the creative team that we proposed.
Hmm.
So how it works is, we have like an idea, and we propose to Adrien and Nico, and and product, and everyone, like marketing, everyone is involved. And yeah, and then we just try to figure out if that's the right one or not. In this case, yeah, I think the creative team, we came up with this sport tech point of view, and it has a good it had a good success, and resonated well inside the everyone in the team at a larger scale. So yeah, from that point, so we took it and we polished and we expanded that.
Love it. Love it.
So I was, as you was telling Andrew, like I wanted to share you, because you all know what happened, how the final one will look. So these are some variations that Theo, who was the one who was owning the early access design. So as you can see, we were trying to different layouts. So one feedback we had from from the community and in-house was using these shapes, the silhouettes. So what happened is the last year we were using these silhouettes everywhere,
Hmm.
and it just created like a wall of silhouettes on the
Yeah.
marketplace. So this time the brief was really to uh, get identifying the differentiator, so that really came. We didn't start from there. We really went a bit crazy, SD card, things like that, because of this, the sport tech, and as you can see, like we tried like many layouts, like with arrows, because as soon as you can see it, you can imagine what the reveal could be. It can be
Hmm.
inserted somewhere. So yeah, gathering the feedbacks, etc. So we really started as a SD card design. We had like reference like from the digital, like physical things from the world that we took, and we were just trying to push things from there. Uh, the feedback from the differentiator feedback came at this phase. So were put we were thinking about putting the club, because in the marketplace it's super diverse, and once you have once you have actions of different players, the pages automatically get dynamic because of
Hmm.
the IPs of the club, because they're all different. So yeah, that's where we really ended up here.
The because the early access cards are like the design is actually different for different leagues as well.
Yeah.
Was that something that you guys were going to do right away, or was it just, oh, there you go, or was it just like at some
Yeah.
point were you like, oh wait, these actually still kind of look too similar in the marketplace or wherever that we need to differentiate?
Yeah, so the initial the brief was to differentiate these what we call internally the minor and the major leagues. Uh,
Yep.
but we didn't to have like too many different designs. I mean, I personally was into like let's uh, let's give the same DNA on the both and create like variations, just to help the story, because if you have too much of designs, people they get disoriented. So we were thinking about having one design, like a master one for both. So the white one, so
Hmm.
the story behind is making more tangible, and like it initially it had like the plastic feeling of
Yep.
the retro feeling that you can have on with the old game consoles, things like that. That was really uh, the the narrative here, and for so yeah, you can have the car. This really looks from my old console that I had, like with the cassette and all.
Yeah, you have to blow on it if it gets dusty.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. I remember. Yeah, that was, yeah, good memories. And then the next one was more next gen look like. So more with the neons, highlighted. So you can imagine that like maybe in a digital, like what we were talking, the NFT look and feel. I
Hmm.
think that really could fit there. We can see this kind of feeling, the look and feel on the NFT object. So yeah, more next gen, but it was a design choice to keep the same layout and to make the understanding like super simple for the users.
This the reveal videos as well, like
Yeah,
using the cards to open up the new ones. That's all your group as well.
yeah, exactly. So Theo and Louis, and myself, we worked from there. I think I have some storyboards. Maybe I can try to.
Because you
Oops.
said your background was in motion, right? Like motion graphics.
My background. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I have a mix of like graphic design. I used to like design visual identities, and then I was into the motion design,
Hmm.
motion graphics. So yeah, I have like both.
Yeah.
uh, like most of the team, I think they all have like multiple skills. They are like really a great team to work with. Let me check. I'm
I
really
mean, the stuff that you guys come out with, it's clear that you have very, very good people working in this group. So, because I think all of it is very impressive, just even down to I guess that's where I'm leaning out, as I keep asking questions of how you guys get broken down. Like even um, like when you craft a card, does
yeah.
that tend to be more your design team as terms of like what it looks like, or is that
Yeah.
Tolga's team, or how Tolga works in terms of?
Yeah, that's where like it's Power Rangers, It's
Mhm.
we are mixing like both. But yeah, the all the 3D stuff, all the creative part comes from us. But it's a true collaboration with
Mhm.
the product team, and we work real closely. So the product designers they design the UI, the UX also, how you navigate, and then we take that from there, and we work from with them, and create a concept and produce all the creative assets, and we test it to see if everything works. But yeah, I'll say it's a collaboration like between
Mhm.
product and design and creative team.
Yeah, I think it was back basically when I was very early on at Sorare Data that I don't think, maybe just people don't think about it enough, but there's there's the part of design of what does this look like, and then there's the part of like how do you use this, and how should things be laid out on insert, and it's not just like make this look good. Like you have to be able to make it usable
Yeah,
and understandable and intuitive, and
yeah,
those are obviously very big challenges,
yeah,
particularly on a site like Sorare that um, there are some significant complexities of the game, and it's
yeah.
your job and your group's job to kind of like make them seem easier. Um, and I think
Mhm.
you guys do a really good job at that. But it's one of those, like, I don't think enough people appreciate like how big of a responsibility like a design team really has.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you're right. I mean, we work on like different like multiple ideas. Maybe I can show you like it looks like that. So that's just for like we call that the playground. But uh, so we try to so from there to here we try to tackle things and anticipate things that the user can face.
Mhm.
Uh, so but still like it can be there can be still things that can go wrong. So that's why like we are very very focused on having feedbacks on the launch days. We are super excited and really like seeing all the tweets like the my I'll say the whole like company, and especially like the design team. We are following every tweets, every like Discord messages that you're saying, because they are good feedback.
Mhm.
And then it's normal to have people being emotional about design. Design a super visual thing. So and we digest it and we face that as professional designers, and we come back with solution. So even if I'll say there are many things that we anticipate, we try to make things like the more like easier for the user.
Mhm.
That could be there's always like room for improvement, so we have that in mind, and we really try to be focused and on the feedbacks, and we listen everything, and we yeah I mean our goal is to make the a great experience for the users.
Can you
So
think of an instance where you guys did release something and were surprised at the feedback, whether it was positive or negative? I hate to say that one popped into my mind as I started asking the question, but I mean, you guys, I would assume that you guys do get feedback
mhm.
before you release things,
Yeah.
and whether it's users that you're reaching out to or just other people in the office who may not be design
Yeah.
specialists. But like, have there been any recently that you guys did go through the whole process and then it released and everyone that the feedback was kind of more negative? I can't think of one from the last 2 or 3 years, but
Oh yeah.
um,
Oh, yeah. I mean, me too. Like I remember one especially when we were very close. I was saying, like, we were all the team was in Discord, so you can get feedback like immediately. So I think one day, I mean, the community was less, and they really got pissed off because we changed the score colors like 5 times. And yeah, they had a really a bad day at the yeah, because the process was still ongoing, and we were like a little group, and we were trying things on really on the website. But
yeah,
now what happens is uh, now what happens is we can't do that because the community is like really big, and we have responsibilities.
hmm,
uh, and to avoid all this feedback, we have two things. We have like the exact like thing that you see on your website. We have that on staging, so
yeah,
we post that there. And then secondly, we are having like Paul Silverman from the design team, who can run like user tests,
yeah.
and he does that quite often, like every week. So I think the product team, they are very keen to have these kind of like user insights. And so once so all this like we do to anticipate problems and to make things. But I'll say that yes, still after all this, we will, and we for sure, like, there's always room for improvement. uh, uh, I like recently I don't see any big uh, things on like the where we I mean we had like feedbacks every week, but it's mostly on the special editions. uh, but yeah, I don't know what do you have in mind, although.
The only one that I remembered was when it must have been the first 3D cards came out
Oh yeah, yeah,
and the position font was different. And I remember it was a classic example of how
yeah,
user feedback works. That it felt like what the responses I saw was like, we don't like this font. And
yeah,
then
I remember, yeah,
you guys changed the font to what it is today.
yeah.
And as soon as it changed, everyone was like, maybe I like the other one, but not because, and it was like, I mean, they were new cards and
Yeah,
the 3D was new, but that's the only one I can remember
yeah,
where people were kind of like, I don't, I don't like this. And maybe, and props to you guys for, adjusting to what I think people wanted to get. But that's the only one I remember where, it just felt like so silly to me that people were going to complain about it. But
yeah, because the cards, they're very attached to the cards.
yes,
They are Users are very attached to the routine. You change. I mean, we every time we change the homepage, I'll say we have multiple feedback. I mean, we every day we uh, every week we have like maybe if new things comes, we will listen. I mean, the feedbacks will be always there, and it's very important. And it's a clear indication of it works or not. So yeah, I remember that moment, and I told myself, wow, people are really like think like they were like super scientists. They became like font scientists. Like
Yes.
I remember, wow.
This I have it up on screen here, the two different ones.
Yeah,
And it changed fairly quickly. As
yeah,
you can see, this was Mint 3 and then Mint 9, and it's different. But I do remember I
yeah,
don't think I had even noticed much about it. And then all of a sudden people started talking about it, and then once that happens, that everybody looks. But I don't
but
know.
I mean, yeah, I mean that's what I'm saying. It's they get emotional because they're very connected, to the cards, and it's normal. It's not just cards. They are like players, with like superpowers, and
Mhm.
they want to look that cool. So yeah. But anyway, we are always listening to feedbacks, and we really try to like be proactive, on this kind of feedbacks. So yeah, that's a good example, Andrew.
I'll go back to your
Yeah,
slides here.
no worries. So yeah, the early access card. So the first thing that we launched on I think July, and then for the major leagues, it happened just after that.
Mhm.
So yeah, now maybe I can show you
Yes.
so that one, like Louis worked on that. So the the same thing, like how we can extend this, like the sport tech feeling to the cards. So one of the first thing that we noticed, that the each year, you have you can identify the shape, layout of the card to be that season. For example, the last one was, you have this pillar on the sidebar that
Mhm.
you always there, and it's easy for users to identify. And when we I mean when you play, uh, we really have in mind that it should be like easy to identify if which season it has. And that's why the sidebar really refreshed the layout for the 24-25 cards. And then this season, like, we had this all this narrative of this sport tech, um, and we really wanted to play with the shape of the card, because before that, as you can see, and you can take all the cards off from Vanaken, we really tried to play with inside the card, and it
Mhm.
was always like a rounded rectangle.
Yep.
So yeah, this time, like, we really wanted to give like a like, in my mind, like, one thing I had is, if you turn off the light of the card, can you still identify that it's the new season card?
Oh, cool.
So I think the shape itself is an ingredient, like an important ingredient, which can give like an indication that it can be a chip, or it brings you to that kind of narrative that we want you to be. And at the same time, we changed the background, to be more like a glitch thing, that we were really that we are going to develop all this season, all the sport tech one. So yeah, so from there, uh, so these are like some cards that some design of the cards that you can see. We were still trying to put some like sidebars,
Mhm.
some. So this was, for example, like an element that can involve through especially on the common game. So you can like level up your the design of the common guard, things like that we had in mind. uh, and then yeah, I'll not show you, like we had like 50 of them, but I just took the one which was really really different. um, so yeah, so the classic edition. So what's important, what have become important, because I like uh, I have been I've known Sorare before it was three sports. So
Mhm.
so for our team, like the real challenge also is to work on, to be cohesive and to work on all and be cross sports on all the other leagues. So when we think about the layout, it has to be it has to work for uh, uh, every other sports, because we want to be super cohesive with our experience. I'm just talking about the classic edition. I think the special editions, they can have their own freedom, and they can, maybe it's okay to surprise users during the season with something different. But I think thinking about the cards, especially the classic edition, should be really like work together,
Mhm.
cross sports. So yeah, we when we design these cards, we also design with players from NBA and MLB to see if everything matches. And also I'll not hide to say, like it's also we gain some time, because everything goes fast, and doing having a layout which really works on three sports really speeds up our process.
Sure. What's so the last trying to think back here. These are actually the first ones, maybe. I was looking at all of the Hans van Aken uniques, and it seems like there was obviously a pretty creative decision to move from black to purple.
Oh yeah,
What made, like, how did you guys progress to that? Because it's
yeah,
when I joined So Rare, I think we were still, I think that my
yeah,
first main season was actually these, I don't think we can even call them gold.
yeah. I have a good story on that.
Well, let's hear that one first before I keep
Yeah,
going.
yeah. So I mean, when I joined Sora, and the this car was already designed. And for years I was thinking that that was like a design, design chance from, because the person who did it, I think he was already working here as a product designer. And yeah, he told me that uh, because of his screen, which is not really well calibrated, he thought it was black. And then it turned to be dark, dark brown everywhere. And yeah, and that stayed. And then we tried to
That's incredible.
yeah, that's a real story. So calibrate well your screens.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And,
As simple as that. Yeah.
yeah,
Um, that's
so yeah, that's a true story.
um, so yeah, like as we see here, it felt like the 3D cards were the first ones that kind of introduced a little bit of the
Yes,
purple, um,
yes,
more with the background, like the background behind the player, not necessarily
yeah,
in the card. Oh, maybe there is a little card. And then last year was not quite as dramatic as this
mhm,
season, where we
mhm,
see like it feels like purple is the main, or yeah, the
yeah.
purple is kind of the main color instead of black. So what made you guys kind of change, like as we see it had been black for quite a long time, and to change it, what was
Yeah,
the thought process there?
I think yeah, there were a couple of things going on. So when the purple was there, I think we were exploring some card designs for MLB and NBA, and they were exploring like purple.
Hmm.
It's really 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 good, and gave like a cool identity to that scarcity. And the second reason, I think, I mean, in the gaming, the violet color is kind of like it has like, it's a special color. Um, so yeah, as you can see, it's already violet. And we just kept that because it just gives that extra like special feeling to the rarity, which
Hmm.
and then the other reason I'll say is we were in dark mode. So black on black um, was something before that we were on light mode. So we really I think that year went full dark mode.
Hmm.
Um, so so the violet color was really taking was really helpful for that, to make that special, make that visible, and make that apart from if you can, like the primary colors, so and I mean the limited and
Yep.
the rare and super rare, and yeah, that's I think that's I mean, rather the brown one, everything is a design choice.
That
Yeah.
it's one of those things that I almost like, if somebody told you, you'd be like, that actually makes sense of why it would end up being that color.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
when I heard that story, I mean, I couldn't believe it. I mean, that's a perfect, little story that I can tell on the podcast I was telling myself.
There you go. There you go. It's been we've been waiting for it, so there it is. No, that's great. That's great. Oh, rookie cards, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, the rookies, uh, like just little tweaks. So yeah, by the way, these are not rookie players,
Hmm.
of course, but we use a lot, like placeholders to design. So sorry if they are not like taking the right metadata. Um, but yeah, the little tweaks, you can see that they are um, a bit different. The rookies, it's really important for us to keep this very simple and I'll not say subtle, but that these tools should work, and it's really a choice to make that the difference really subtle, and to create like a collection, a set like the classic cards, uh, because we are doing more and more, like, special editions. So during the season we have more, we told ourselves that we can take like more freedom, during the season on the special edition cards, to make more like crazy ones. But we also always think like the classic cards, like a foundation that gives like a basement of what you can build on. I'm saying that because I already heard that, and saw that feedback before. So that's a real choice.
The little emblem, or I'm not sure what it is, the on the RC at the bottom.
Yeah.
Oh, yours is different. So that one shows like lightning,
Oh yeah.
but what
And
we
we
have
changed.
on
Yeah.
site is I still don't know if it's like a star or a like I'll pull it on mine here, because
uh,
like this,
yeah. Yeah.
what is
I think it's like a star. Yeah.
okay.
It's really a star, and within the shape. And yeah,
Hmm.
this one wasn't the last one, obviously. It didn't feel well, and maybe two rivals, let's say.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, we changed that. But yeah, uh, uh, I mean, the classic edition cards was really it's becoming more and more like, we are thinking more and more like as a basement, where we can build stuff. um, and we also, one of the idea that we had, like, we can maybe give this slanted shape for only limited plus cards,
Hmm.
but it was too complicated because the some that means that the common game is going to be impacted, and we want to have everything on the same level. So this was also like being discussed and designed, but we felt that it was too complicated. So we just end up being like super simple. The common card is not here, but maybe here. Oh, these are animated. Oh, but yeah, we just align everything to have like a cohesive experience, and then for special edition we can take more freedom.
Right.
Yeah.
Is there or have you guys experimented with like uh crazier shapes? Like, have you designed a circular or a pentagon, or like have you
I
tried to
mean, yeah,
go, have you thought about going away from like the basic rectangle, even though that probably takes it away from like feeling like a sports car?
yeah. Um, at some point, not this season, but I think the one maybe you before the 23 24 maybe. So on the 22 23, I think. So we really wanted to explore more variations of the cards. I remember we even tried like having square cards, which was super easy because it can be easily used on the app, on the desktop. So I but I think the layout we had on the market wasn't ready enough
Mm.
to have this kind of like multiple shape cards. Uh, but I mean personally, I would like that, but I feel like what we have started here, uh, playing with shapes and I mean the shape of the card. I think it's just the beginning,
Hmm.
uh, and as I was telling, like everything which happens step by step. So I think that we are maybe at the first step, or having like maybe crazy, uh, and we'll especially design a pentagon shape for you, Andrew. No worries. But yeah, I feel like it's a first step, and and gives like a lot of opportunity for the next ones.
Hmm. Okay, that, love it, love it. So yeah, the animated cards, obviously,
Yeah,
these are kind of like special edition, early access special edition,
yeah,
that have a few different ones. How did you guys, or I guess I should say, like, how many did you come up with? And then obviously
yeah.
we know that we only have a few of them.
Yeah, I think for the last season we did a lot more, and they were really different. You had like super realistic, super abstract.
Hmm.
Uh, I can like think about the stadium, or
Yep.
the lightning, thing. That, but yeah, this time like we still wanted to make little bit different, but within the frontier we had,
Mm.
but also like not being like too much like abstract, but we still wanted to make something more like related to sports. So we just came uh, we had like 5 designs, I think 5 to 6, I don't know, but yeah, it's less than the last year. But yeah, we came up with 5 to 6, and even like the idea of having the video is something which is not new to this season. It was introduced the season before, and uh, that's again like we're trying to push things and trying to taking things which work, that uh, having like seeing the community, which was really enjoying all these pulling the animated cards. And I feel like last year, I I think it was my best reveal day that I've been here in Sorare. Like the last one we did, where the first early access card were here. You reveal the pack.
Hmm.
I really felt that okay, that day that something was happening, as the first day when I was there. Experiencing the first cards I designed. I felt the same thing here,
Mm.
and because I think these kind of cards and the percentage, the playfulness that we have, and the randomness you have when pulling the cards, it really worked. So that's something we obviously like we kept to for the community, and I think that's something is going to stay in the product.
Do you have a favorite special edition from this season? Or sorry, a favorite animated from this season?
Oh, yeah, I like the middle one, which is more like the Matrix style.
Yeah.
But yeah, but I mean, like I mean and also the one with the fire could be really cool for the hot streaks. If
Mm.
what's your favorite one?
I think I like the ball.
Yeah.
But I have a couple on my screen here, and
Yeah. Okay.
the fire one is pretty cool. I don't know, it's just something about fire that is exciting. I'm curious, and this question comes up. Said, I really love the look of the Heritage Edition cards. Is this something we might see more of going forward? Cough, cough, Northern Lights Rosenberg cards. Do you guys like? I'm curious how the special edition card process works. Is it you want to design, or you get say, let's figure out what we can do as a special edition card? Is it the licensing team saying, hey, we have these assets that we can use? Or is it product saying, hey, we want to do this competition? Can you just like, where does it start? Because I think everybody loves special edition cards. And obviously some of them are built, or at least they feel like they're made specifically for competitions. I'm thinking of like the summer edition cards that came out before the Club World Cup. And then obviously we have kind of these, I don't want to call them standard special editions, but the early access special editions. So like, where does the special edition even process start of we're going to do some new ones like this?
Yeah. I think all the scenarios that you have mentioned are true. Like they can come from purely like a creative experience that we have. Like we can see something and we can say, okay, it's something cool to be done. But more generally, I mean, we have like the top partners and top IPs. So if we and we only make like official things. So if we don't have the deal with something, we can't make it. And the process really starts, I think, from the initiative that has the marketing team, and sometimes the product. But recently, it has been more the marketing team, I'll say, because they are seeing opportunities to be leveraged, and the brief most of the times comes from them. And then what happens is, for example, for the Ballon d'Or, it was really a mix of all this. So we had the license, and 2 weeks before, we had to start doing the work. We are all like super excited, like it's a big IP, to have with like top players. And really the process starts from having a deal, having the desire to make something cool, and all the creative and the marketing and the product. They are like super passionate about it, and we work for 2 weeks, and then it's not finished. You need to get validated by the by the league, or is so that's another challenge we face at the end. And by the way, it's the case for any like cards you have seen here that I presented. Everything goes under the like the fact checking, and you can take any leaks. We submit all the designs to have like the double validation, and the go from them. So yeah, from there, we what happens next? Like we create like a marketing plan. How we are going to communicate that? Is the product assets are there, marketing, and then we just collaborate. It's really collaboration moments there, from marketing, product, business development, and yeah, it's that's like the general process we have. But maybe I can show you how we did like the creative process from the Ballon d'Or.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm
Okay.
the I was so yeah, you were just saying how you didn't have much time to go,
Yeah,
once, and
yeah, we have to.
obviously, and we'll see a little bit, like you didn't know who won beforehand, so even the card, like you had to prepare more than what
Oh
was
yeah,
going to be ready. Was it a similar time frame for when PSG won the Champions League? Because we obviously had those like PSG, um, I forget what they are officially called, but essentially the Champions League winner cards. Um,
Paris Rising Edition, I think.
yeah. So did you make those for Inter as well, or was it just if PSG won, they were coming out, and if PSG lost, there was
No,
no?
no, no, no. We didn't have Inter. Like we
Yeah.
were really stressed.
Okay.
No, no, yeah, it was like all in, like
Yeah. Yeah.
let's go PSG. No, we didn't have anything for Inter. Like hopefully they won, and like what a match! Like
Yeah.
they crushed the game. Like yeah, again, like it was an incredible night to be here. And yeah, that day like we watched the game with the team here, and once they won, we we were like preparing all the thing, to be communicated and the auctions to be done.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Paris was really crazy. I remember I remember from the office. Usually I take the metro. Sorry, I'm I'm talking about my life, but
No. No. Please.
so usually I take the metro, and that day nothing happened. Like I think I walked like 2.5 hours to go home, and really experiencing Paris being really like super having fun, enjoying, and yeah, it was a crazy moment to be there and experiencing experiencing the how the match, the cards we have designed. And I remember it was everyone like they gave from the team like through the 300% of themselves and
Mhm.
putting and it was really a good moment to share with them, and hopefully they won. 'Cause I don't know what you have done if not.
Do you remember like how long you guys worked on it before, or like yeah, yeah, I guess the whole I'm curious of that process of at
Yeah,
some point somebody says, "Hey, maybe we should do these, if they win the Champions League," or like where did that come from?
that came from the head of marketing, Julien Fonton. So the initial idea came from the marketing,
Mhm.
and then we closely work with PSG, like and also once we had the go, we contacted a freelancer to do that, to all the designs that he have done. So he hand drawn everything. So most of the time when you see things like that, we only get the player picture. Like we ask the freelancer to prepare like the player picture of the card, because that's uh, every time we like before we ask for a freelancer to do the whole card, it never worked because the process is so rare. Let's say it's very tailored for and very niche that they can't get everything and how it works, especially now with card friend, card back, the normal maps, which we use to the reflection that you have talking before. So yeah, so we work with the freelancer, but also the in-house team. They like Louis was owning that, and he really did a great job on creating all the card backgrounds and all the stuff needed to make the card integrated to the admin.
Mhm.
Uh, so yeah, everything went quickly, and it was intense but super interesting for all of us.
Do you guys like use freelancers just to give like a very different design to what you guys normally have, or like what's the are you just too busy? Like how is it
Uh,
like I think
yeah,
it's cool that you guys are able to like collaborate with certain artists in order to
yeah,
do this stuff. It's just I'm
yeah.
curious where it comes from.
So freelancer. I mean, both are true. Sometimes we really don't have enough time, so we just leverage freelancers, but not to make the full card. Uh, I mean, we don't do that anymore, but we just leverage freelancers to recreate like player pictures, as I was telling. But most of the time, we want a certain style, for the certain type of card edition.
Yeah.
So when we don't have that kind of talent and the time, we contact someone who has that skill and who can do that like 100 times better than us, and we collaborate. I mean, that's exactly what happens with the NBA editions, all the playoffs
Hmm.
that were illustrated. So we work with Jason Baker, who's based in the US, and yeah, it's a collaboration moment again. And and he just gives us all the player pictures, and we work very closely, and we create all the card, the backgrounds, etc. So yeah, we reach freelancers when they are really like have a certain style that we are searching for this
Hmm.
type of edition. For example, I don't know, the Halloween, like this kind of stuff, uh, and uh, and then when we don't have time, yeah, obviously, we don't do that anymore because we learned that if we ask to design the full card, uh, they are really struggling. The freelancer are really struggling, and they don't get the process
Yeah.
that we have in house. So what happens is we get files and we just work on them. So so yeah, we still need to rework the files, etc. So it's better that it's better to just pick one ingredient,
Yeah.
and the other stuff is totally handled by us.
Yeah. Brad Craig here said, I just want to say kudos to the design team for the Ballon d'Or cards, which we can get into. I won the Kabarchkelia limited this past week, and it's almost too beautiful to sell.
Oh wow.
Um, and that one is great.
Well,
So yeah, let's
well,
jump into those because those are
yeah.
like obviously the ones that are the most recent ones that have come out. And you guys had, like we said, a pretty significant
Uh-huh.
uh, time crunch in terms of when they were going
Yeah,
to be available after the announcement.
yeah. So 2 weeks, like the time counted. We had 2 weeks
Crazy.
in mind, and we had to do for 3 trophies.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like a rush on our side. So the first thing we do, we just discussed on what can be doable on the design. And what's interesting with the Ballon d'Or is they have their IP, they have their own branding, and obviously we at the end we need to uh, be like an extension, of that branding. So the first thing that you do as a designer, as for this kind of project, is just to go and being uh, make the detective work, just to see how they look, and we just gathered everything just to get the look and feel.
Hmm.
And then after that, so what does this means for us? So making like the essence and making a mood board of what could be. Maybe it can be like a polygon, with the sport tech again, narrative that we had. At the end, we didn't have this, but that's one of the things that we had in mind. And also the Ballon d'Or is also very iconic, legendary. It's for great players. So maybe it can be like super shiny, and I like the trophies, by the way. So that's really the like the mood board we had. Like quickly we had to gather and um, like presenting the mood board is very important to communicate and be aligned on the vision that we have. And for that type of the 2 weeks timing we had, I'll say sub mood boards are very important to go fast and be aligned. Uh, and we did for the Ballon d'Or, we did 2 editions. We did the nominees editions, which is, as you can see, the on the black ones with the how do I say it, but in French we say that éclair element of the visual element behind.
Mm-hmm.
And then for ones, so these are ones that you may have users did not see. So for the potential winners, we did obviously we thought Hakimi was going to win. All the mal. And then this was for the winner. So it has to be like gold, and so this is only limited. So these are not the scarcities. I think they are here. Yeah, as you can see, these are the scarcities limited. So for the potential winner, we had 2 versions. One was nominee, one was holding the Ballon d'Or, and these photos didn't exist. So the person who was his name is Benjamin. Yeah, and by the way, he's the one who also worked on the Paris Rising edition.
Mm.
So he did a super good job, and I think he also posted like the behind the scenes. So I invite you to see that what he did. He posted. We also reposted on Sorare, and yeah, he really did a good job on creating a reality which doesn't exist.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Having the Ballon d'Or, Hakimi having the Ballon d'Or, and for Ousmane, so I don't know. It's like, I mean, I don't know. We have like good intuition, but we really thought like Usman is going to win, like the PSG. So we put all in on PSG.
Mm-hmm.
And if you see the stats, and we have really like here in Sorare like uh, like top minds. I think they can be scouts. Yeah, they really help us to see. To guide us on this kind of decisions. But yeah, we really thought that Ousmane Dembele uh, could be could win. So this was the first one that we did, and we really didn't like it at the end. Like the illustrator, what happened is he delivered all the files extra, and we really asked him to rework the attitude, and because it was quite worth to hold that in that way.
Yeah.
So yeah, so we have like 2 versions of Dembele. We have we have Hakimi again holding the Ballon d'Or edition, and then yeah, as you know, Ousmane Dembele won the Ballon d'Or, and then I can show you everything else. So Ballon d'Or, we leverage Ballon d'Or for to work with like there's a freelancer like Benjamin. He worked on all the Ballon d'Or, and for the other 2 trophies, it was another freelancer.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, for example, this was all the same process that I'm telling. Like we like the freelancer, he does the player picture,
Right.
and then we do all the card design, etc., the layout, and the integration part.
Gosh,
Yeah,
these
so
are great.
yeah, sorry for the metadata because we because we do we go super fast and we don't have that time to refresh the metadata. Tag. And then yeah, I mean there were a lot of like here's there.
Yeah, there it is.
Uh, yeah, I think this one is my favorite. But he ended up having a Yashin card. So
I was
what
gonna say,
happened?
yeah, that one
Yeah,
didn't get it.
yeah. So the logic behind is if a player wins, we just expose the trophy, the winner with the trophy card. So for the look and feel for the Yashin, it was a bit hard to find. I'll I'll be to be honest,
Hmm.
because we are thinking of goalkeepers. They are really like the man of steel. We want really like a raw version of the player. Like you can feel that they are hand drawn and the energy behind, and that was quite complicated to have. But on some players, I mean, I have my favorites, but like I think yeah.
Mm.
And then this was for the Yashin, and then for the youngsters, it was more like super energetic. We were more like flat design,
Hmm.
2D feeling like cartoonish, to give the more like the young players. So the one version that you don't see is Doué having the the
Yep.
Copa trophy, and then
Does
yeah,
that direction come from you guys, or does
yeah.
yeah, okay. So you said you wanted it more cartoonish or in 2D?
Yeah, I think it's both. Like when we work with freelancer, particularly for the Copa Nation, it was a collaboration between us and the freelancer
Hmm.
because we felt that he was really like searching the style. And by the way, he's the one who worked on the Otani card, the unique.
Mm.
Uh, so we were maybe asking him something different from his style. So was this here? This is purely like his style. Like
Yeah.
you can connect with the PSG and it's the same style. So here we felt that he needed some help to figure out what's going to be the style. So every day we work and he will like send us styles every day. Like we just had 2 weeks, so
Yeah.
every, so this happened in the frame of like 2 days or 3 days maybe. So working with him, like sending him styles, being proactive, and really like helping the freelancer to have the best look and feel possible for the Copa edition. So it was like a collaboration for the Copa and Yashin.
You mentioned before about how all of these have to be approved by the leagues or the clubs.
Yep.
Did these also need to be approved by like the Ballon d'Or
Yeah.
group and each individual club?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Yeah.
Gee, man.
Yeah. People they don't know it. Yeah, once you have finished that, it's not finished. You have to get the validation from each IP. Like because we are using their
Right.
logo, and so PSG has their. They can say no if they. I mean, if they want. But hopefully, we have like super good, business managing partners here. So it always goes smoothly.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is there ever like any sort of pushback on? I imagine it's not design, but maybe I don't know. I can't think of like
Yeah,
what.
yeah. I have something in mind. Is like we had many pushback before, but now I think so. The football clubs. They have rivals.
Mhm.
Uh, so, for example, like I remember like doing a car for Real Madrid, and they didn't want the red, like the rare Scarcity, because it was too like Barcelona. So
I think
we had to
um,
educate them.
I think if I remember back, I think it was the original Betis cards, Real
Yeah,
Betis. Yeah, that didn't want rares because they were red.
Yeah, exactly. So the betas was what is another story. Is was crazy. They were asking for green cards. So I'm like, it's not the product, but why not? Like we were at the time like searching for what could be the limited color card, but could have been a green one. But yeah, it's because people they know like users and like us, they get very emotional and about designs and colors. It's almost like a religion. So the feedback we can have can be really like not really objective sometimes.
So if I remember correctly, the your first year cards, like the honeycomb cards, were the first limiteds, weren't they?
Yeah, exactly. That's the first year where we had a rookie and also introduced the limited card. Yeah, that's right.
What, if you can remember back, was was it decided very early on that limited was going to be yellow?
No, no, no. We had multiple options, and I know like Carl was a game designer.
Hmm.
Uh, he uh, he had like other naming that than limited. So we had like a bunch of lists. So we are really like it was like 21 was really exciting. Like, it was really great to be sorry like uh, many new things happened, and yeah, one of this was like creating the new scarcity and thinking about limited and limited. It was not the final name. We had many other names, and no, the color was I think we had green, we had gradients, we had violet too. We really um, wanted to explore, but the real idea behind being a yellow is we want to create the rarity of a card, which is still going to uh, say that it's a cool card, but it's a cheap card, you know. And the yellow played that role, and I think because people are used to having yellow in mind, like the discount, all these things. If you see like all the all the shops like hard discount, they always use the yellowish thing. So it really something comes from there, I think, because we are all educated in that way. And yeah, so we used the yellow was perfect because it was not too different with the red and with the common card. So it was really the in between, perfect, and saying that it's cheaper than the rare cards.
Hmm.
But yeah,
Do you Can you share some of the names that?
uh, I think
The only reason I ask is because I remember
yeah,
I believe there was an announcement that another scarcity was coming before we knew it was called limited. And
yeah,
so at the time, for those of you who were not here, it was like unique, super rare, rare, common. And so there was something in between common and rare. And I remember it felt like the community was mostly just calling it uncommon,
yeah,
which didn't feel
that's right.
appropriate. Like it was just so too close to the word common, but we just
Exactly.
kept using it. And then when limited came out, we were all like, "Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, that's a good one." But
Yeah.
yeah, if you remember any of the other ones.
I don't have. I think I have. I can ask Carl if you want, and I can send it to you. But yeah, I remember of uncommon, and I think there was. We were telling that uncommon. It puts that really more rare than more special than the unique. It's uncommon.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, like it's absolutely not what it was designed to.
Right.
So yeah, the limited came, but I can't remember all the names. I have to go through the Discord, I think.
Yeah.
But
Well,
yeah,
I
I'm
don't know.
pretty sure like Carl, he has all the list. I can ask him.
What are like the bigger challenges that you guys face from a design perspective? Just is it knowing that whatever you come up with is going to be very
Mhm.
massive for your user base, or are there
Yeah.
just smaller things that you guys kind of yeah, not necessarily struggle with, but like what are the big things that you guys kind of
Yeah.
try to address?
So yeah, I'll say plenty of things like as like we do multiple special editions
Hmm.
more and more. I think the challenge is how we can like go push more and more, on the designs, and that's a real challenge, which is super interesting when for the creative team, um, and the other challenges are yeah. I mean, I had something in mind. I just get it.
Well, I remember I asked kind of a similar question.
Yeah,
I actually not sure I actually asked the question, but Tolga brought it up.
yeah,
Um, and I forget what page he was working on in terms of like, well, if basically the issue that you guys have is once something is implemented, you
yeah,
don't want to change it. Like you want to be able to say to present this is this is the new way that you make your lineups, or this is the new way that you check
mm,
something, and you don't necessarily, obviously you can improve it, but you don't want to put it out and then all of a sudden 2 days later be like, oh, we're going to change it all over. And that all of these are very kind of the decisions ideally are final, and like we move on, we go to the next project after that.
yeah,
And so I wasn't sure from your design perspective of, I mean, I guess we go back to that, the first 3D cards where you
yeah,
changed
exactly.
everybody became a font expert. um like where like those are the types of things where you're like, we have to get this right.
Yeah, 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 right. Yeah, for sure. Like when we push things, and we you don't want to um, change the font, change the layout, uh, and but still, like if there's a massive feedback from the community, and we hear that and we change it. But I feel like we uh, so if we do that regularly, it means like we are not good.
Yeah.
Like you mean that means like we are not designing well, uh, and not hearing like feedbacks, and but yeah, I think it's important to have like strong opinions, but still have freedom, to move. And it's always a pain once it's there. If it's we can't move things easily.
Hmm.
So in case if there's a real issue, I think we what we tend is maybe we keep that, and we try to if it's like super urgent thing, we try to fix that, or if not, we just keep that for the as a learning for the next one.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. In terms of, I don't know if you have any more that you wanted to share. Um, I think that was pretty much all that we were going to.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, in terms of special edition cards, like I think that everybody loves them, but the more special editions that come out, each
Yeah.
one feel like they then feel kind of less special. Do you have
Yeah.
a kind of a goal in terms of like how many you guys do every year, or do they come about of, oh my, we just got this license, let's do a special edition quickly? Like what's
Yeah.
the how many can you do before they're not special anymore?
Yeah, that's a important like hot topic
Okay.
on our team too. But um, we I think it's very into the initiatives of what the marketing does. We
Mhm.
really they really come with the brief, and we just talk, and sometimes we try to give feedbacks, and push back if we think that is if it's not a good idea. So yeah. I mean, it's about thinking about like marketing opportunities, and because the special editions we can put like hundreds, like it's not It's not because we are. I mean, we are here to serve the purpose of the squads, everyone in Sorare. So, but hopefully we are not going to do that. But we are really like, what's the idea behind is to connect really with the real world, um, like celebrations that we have from football on, even surf on, the cultural stuff that we want to do. And I think it's quite new to for Sorare. Like we are not we didn't used to make that much of special editions before.
Hmm.
And I feel that it really creates the like a nice tension and a nice thing that we can drop, and creates like a cool momentum, and it creates some hype where um, uh, versus a scenario where you just release the classic edition cards and then that's it for all the season. You just
Yeah.
have nothing. And now, since last season, you have the celebration edition when the player he has the goal. It's really, yeah, I think it's very important for us to be connected with what's going on sports, what's going in culturally, to be just not to be a game, like crypto game project brand, but more like being like in being there in the pop culture and surfing on that, and really serving all these narrative and celebrating these moments with the users. And it creates scenarios where we create Japanese and Korean culture, and it create, and what it's an import. It's a super interesting and exciting question to ask. Like, what uh, culturally the sakura, which is a Japanese thing, could look on a card. And um, and I feel like it brings some hype and
Hmm.
some coolness, and also we are a collecting game, and uh, so it gives uh, I I think it serves for users who are really into collectibles, and having the special editions, which are okay, just maybe tweaking designs, but I think they really serve that kind of like people creating hype, collecting like special cards, and being really proud of their cards
Do you guys pay much attention to the physical card market and just see kind of like what
every
is
time.
out there that you
Yeah,
can do
yeah,
better as a digital card, basically?
yeah. Every time, like the physical card market is a true influence for us. For example, I can like give you concrete example with the MLS 30th anniversary.
Hmm.
So the inspiration from the card really came from the physical editions we had, because the MLS was born in the 90s, and we really wanted to uh, to um, uh, to um, uh, create like a direct connection with this type of cards
Hmm.
that we had in those days, and meaning that the layout could be was boring, and making like strict connections with them. We changed the font, I think, which was the Futura, which was like globally used in the 90s. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, perfect. So what you have, I think the layout is very inspired by one of the. Uh, it's really a mix of all the 90s, I'll say, or the
Hmm.
tops, the card. I think tops. I think one of the. I think yeah, the community they found that, and what's really cool, interesting, that you can't hide because our Sora community is really has a really like good knowledge of all the
Yeah.
card games, and we were yeah, and then I was really happy to see, someone who found that, and it means that we are just they are just not there for the, we are also people are here because they love the card design and they have a real like culture and the knowledge behind those. And so for the MLS, it was yeah, it was straight. We were really inspired by what the 90s trading sports cards looked like.
Hmm.
So taking out the layout, we changed the font, and we also like applied like a filter on the player pictures, to give a look and feel that as it was photographed, at that period.
Sure.
And then all the look and feel was really around the VHS and all this thing. And I remember like Dan was like having a had a cool appearance in that video. But yeah, the trade. So every time I mean, personally, I'm very like I really love to to um, to check on what's new and what has been done, because most of the thing has been done in the trading cards, and we really take all the influence from that era, and try to push things. I remember like joining at Sorare, and yeah, exactly. Yeah. Joining at Sorare, like I really felt that we were in the avant-garde, like from something doing really new, uh, and uh, and I really have like one leg on what's going on, and we are super inspired by the physical cards, and we try to and we try to like uh, leverage that and make something new. And I feel like we are this we are creating the new language of the, the the trading cards. Maybe in 50 years, we can say that okay, they created something new, and all this influence is a story which comes from the physical cards.
Hmm. For these MLS ones, was this did this come up, like, did you guys come up with this idea and then have to work with MLS, or does MLS just at the
Yeah.
end you just send them and say, hey, we just made these, please approve them? Like, was there much collaboration with the league, or did you guys kind of just go with
Uh,
it and then?
no, we most of the time we just validate things
Yeah.
at the end, um, and we just send the cards, the mock-up of the cards of
Yeah.
one player, and we try to get that validated, and if not, we try to understand why, and now with all the experience that the business squad has, they can tell what works and what doesn't, and we try to anticipate
Sure.
quickly on that.
What does it feel like to be in this kind of position where there really isn't a long history of creating this type of collectible? Basically, obviously, like you
Right.
said, you take a lot of inspiration from the physical card market, but you're very much creating a digital asset.
Yeah, yeah,
um, do you feel like you're limited in any way, or is it almost a problem because it's so unlimited that you could almost do whatever you want?
yeah. I feel like it's super exciting and scary at the same time. And I remember like talking to Nico when I joined. I was telling that it's like in the Renaissance, in the 16th century, people were printing stuff, and it was revolutionary. And I felt the same way when I joined. Like we were like printing stuff which was owned by users, and we were really like breaking the what we all knew before, and it was really like exciting. And I really felt that uh, I really felt responsible of what we are creating, and kind of having a mission to be as good as possible. And that's something it's really like goes in my mind every time I design here, and and yeah, and I really feel like we can do anything we want. We are just beginning and scratching. Most of the cards that you have been seen on Sorare are, for me, really referencing and taking like a lot of reference from physical world.
Hmm.
But I feel like we can go like much more. And why don't like why are we thinking the cards of on this format? Because of the physical world. Because it was super new and people needed I assume a reference in their mind because the concept was super new and they needed something to rely on and so the cards are in that way. But I really hope that we can do a lot more, and I think we are using we are not using paper. We are using material where it really gives us like super freedom. We can put that and take that anyway. I mean, if you want to put that in a big screen or even in virtual reality or on your glass, everything is possible. And we are still scratching the surface of that. And yeah, so as a designer I feel like super excited. The only limitations that we have is from our partners who will
Hmm.
say okay, this is a constraint, you can't use it. But rather than that, uh, as a team, like we want to do the best cards and the best experience we have. Yeah.
The it's actually a very good point that you just brought up. That I think one of the it's almost like a limitation of when, at least when Sorare started, that you want to have these officially licensed collectibles, and you use the physical card kind of industry as the basis to start because it's understandable. People know what the
Exactly.
cards are. And so you could have easily done something that was not a card, but it also makes it difficult for users to understand what they're buying.
Yeah.
Um,
Exactly.
I can think of a few kind of early NFT projects that, like MLBC, which was a baseball
Hmm.
NFT game that used like digital bobbleheads.
Bubbles,
And it's
yeah.
like people knew what bobbleheads are, but trading cards are what more people knew, and more people collect trading cards. And so using a trading card for a
Yeah.
fantasy game like Sorare makes sense because people know, and particularly with buying and trading,
Hmm.
that's a process that already exists. And I think what's exciting from from the Sorare perspective moving forward is you don't necessarily have to just keep relying on past trading cards for your inspiration for the future. You could look at previous Sorare cards, but
Hmm.
the more that the Sorare cards become dynamic and exciting,
Hmm.
maybe, like you said, maybe we don't have uh, like a rectangular card design in
Yeah.
the future that, like you said, that the possibilities are endless, basically.
Yeah. Exactly. And I think the making like direct reference to the sports trading culture really served to understand what Sora was at
Hmm.
that time. Really, uh, because people can react and up to today, they get emotional of the cards. I think it's really a powerful thing. It has superpowers and creates emotion and maybe if Sorare was launching like cards which were like football, in the shape,
Hmm.
maybe people would have didn't understand. And I think it was a super like strategically it was I mean the it was a really smart thing to do. And now we have that. I think we can do more.
Hmm.
And yeah, uh, I I hope that we can break that screen barrier, break the all the maybe the cars can be uh, can uh, uh, cannot have one design for season. Maybe you buy a car that maybe progress the design can be customizable. And now we have the community something. We have like a good foundation and a good knowledge, and we can modify things. And I think you can't break the rule if you don't know, the rule. So I feel like now we know it. I think it's time to break it.
Well, when the Pentagon cards come out, I will be there to looking for that.
Yes, sure. And yeah, we'll do a signed card, where we can sign the card, and we'll send that to you.
I'm glad you brought that up. I meant to bring that up before. Nicola tweeted something the other day about
Yeah.
signed cards.
Yeah.
Not to put you on the spot, but like, is this something that you guys have talked about and now he's talking about it? Or is it you see this and you're like, uh-oh, we got to design a new, we got to do some signature cards?
No, we talked about that with Nicolas, and I think we used to do that on the 21, 22, no, or 22, 23. I don't know.
There were a couple seasons that.
Yeah, a couple seasons and it was really a good thing to bring athletes to the platform at the time, where so the concept is, for those who don't know, is when an athlete player he gets signed up to Sorare, we give him a signed card of himself. So we are just serving the ego of the football player. But yeah, and it was and players were super happy, and they yeah, exactly, the one I can. And what happens is they just it was a great acquisition tool for us too, and to bring athletes on platform was really refreshing, and gave lots of credibility to the product at the time. And yeah, and I think we stopped that. And Nicolas, he always has many people who's asking him. I mean, many players, like, they wanted the signed card, and we were telling that we don't do that anymore. But I feel like that's something we can resurface maybe this year. I don't want to tell more, but it's plausible that we can do that.
Yeah, it's going back to the physical cards. I remember when the signature cards first came out, and there was kind of this kind of a reaction of, it's not real. Like, if this is an NFT of a signature, nobody's going to buy these. And then we all went crazy when like one went available and you could get it. And I think users appreciate the literal uniqueness of getting a card with a player signature on it. And like, we see physical cards now have like patches of jerseys on them, and that's not something that's easily kind of duplicated in an NFT. But the signatures, again, like, as long as there aren't 1,000 of them, I think people kind of appreciate the scarcity of them.
Yeah, I think, yeah, this is, I mean, the rule we had, that to give that to the players, we were like athletes. I think this is what created the uniqueness of that. I think we need to keep that kind of rule, and don't. I feel like maybe it will be less interesting if that's something like signed cards. If you find like 1,000 signed cards, it doesn't make that unique, really. So yeah, I hope we can keep that.
Yeah, for sure. I've taken up a lot of your time. I had mentioned before that I was like, I'm going to be here for about 2 hours, and you were like, 2 hours? That's crazy. And here we are. Just
2 hours. Yeah, I mean, it was my first podcast, and yeah, I mean, it went quite fast. I mean, it was really cool, to discuss with you. And,
I had a blast, and I'm. Thank you for putting all of that together, to all of the slides of showing us, because, like I said, I think one of the fun things about doing something like this is that we just don't see it that often, and so, or ever really. And so getting kind of a little inside look on Sorare is fun, particularly on like the Yamal Ballon d'Or card, which is like, that's not going to exist, but here we could see it. So was there anything that we didn't get to? I feel like we got through a lot, but is there anything that you wanted to?
No, I'm just telling myself that now I've exposed you all the designs. We can't do that anymore. So, so we are in trouble, guys.
Yeah,
Creative.
all the way back. Yeah, just
Yeah.
scrap everything.
No, I think it's very interesting for us. For me, representing creative team and the design team to help you guys, understand what's going on, and what you see is just the essence of a huge amount of work and talking and brief. Uh, but we are always, hearing feedback, and we are fine tuning things. And please continue. I want to say to leave feedbacks, and get emotional, and or not, I don't know, but it's super serving us, to make very cool things on our side.
Oh, awesome. I don't think you ever have to worry about the Sorare community giving feedback, so I'm sure plenty.
Yeah. Yeah,
um,
for sure.
Yeah, but Philip, thank you so much. Thank you to everybody for joining. Obviously, if
My
you
pleasure.
are here live, appreciate everybody with their questions. I apologize. I don't think we got too many. I think everybody was just so excited to see what you had for us. So no, that was great. Thank you to everybody for coming. Please make sure you subscribe to the channel, get notifications for every time these streams happen. We have them every day in different languages across the week. So whatever you speak, I'm assuming if you're 2 hours into an English one, English is one of the languages you speak. So thank you to everybody for coming to the Spotlight, and please make sure you get outside.